We have the bandage man. It's basically a story of a guy who either got cut up, fell into a wood chipper, got into a fight with a bear, it really depends on who you ask, and now wanders the woods along the highway, covered in bandages. If you are unlucky enough to pull over, he'll get in your car and kill you. I just recently saw a flyer on the bulletin board at the local post office asking for people's stories so someone can make a mockumentary. Why would anyone pull over? There's an incident they talk about on My Favorite Murder that was featured on a show called I Survived about a girl who was raped in a forest by some guy who picked her up hitchhiking. He tried to kill her, ended up cutting off both of her arms and pushing her down a small ravine then drive off. Somehow she had the strength to find her way to the main road and walk along it waiting for a car to pick her up. But the thing was, she was a naked woman, covered in blood, with no arms, walking along a deserted road. The first car that passed was two guys, and apparently they were so freaked out that they kept going. The second car was a couple on their honeymoon and they pulled over to bring her to safety. I guess my point is, bandage man or whatever could be the scariest looking thing ever, but you wouldn't want to drive by and risk hearing about some poor murder victim who could have been saved if someone had helped them. Came here to post this. I'm from about an hour away, but a friend of mine goes down there every week for work, and he refuses to take that stretch of highway. Apparently the version of the legend he heard says that bandage man only comes out when it's raining, but like my friend says, when isn't it raining here? I don't think he's driven that road in 3 years. What if I pulled over, but when he went to get in my car, my pants were at my ankles and I was masturbating furiously? Do you think he'd still come in or be like I'll catch the next one? There's an old summer camp far into the woods near my town. Every kid that goes there learns the story of skibo baits. When the camp first opened they had a big bonfire for all the kids that night and some of them started picking on poor young skibo. He gets shoved and trips into the fire which sets his clothes up in flames and he runs from the beach into the large lake the camp was built near. They never found him that night or recovered his body. The counselors all say if you sneak out of your cabins at night skibo will find you and take his revenge. Yes, I know it's bullshit to scare and keep the young kids in their cabins at night. We had something similar at a summer camp I went to, Buckethead. He was supposedly a janitor who worked at the camp, carrying around a lead bucket and mop to clean up. One day, his bucket fell in the pool and he dived in to get it. In the process, though, the bucket accidentally went over his head and he couldn't get it off. Eventually he got lead poisoning, went insane, and now roams the woods around camp at night, eager to kill anyone he gets his hands on. He fell in a fire and then ran away from the beach? Why didn't he run toward the water? Poor skibo. My high school is cursed. Every year, there was one suicide and one death from car crash. Every single year. My older sisters went there before me for 5 years. I went for 4 years, and according to the alumni Facebook page, they haven't missed a year since I graduated. In total that is nearly 13 years, and 26 dead kids. And I know I heard about the curse before my sister even went there, so who knows how big the total is. It had 2,000 students when I went there, which was twice the capacity the building was meant for. I think I heard of 2 suicides one year. A guy committed suicide, and his bully committed suicide over the guild. Yeah, my school had about 2K 3K, and we lost at least 1 or 2 students every year. There was at least 1 suicide, but we didn't hear much about those, because of the domino effect. Other deaths include, ran into a snow-covered truck with a snowmobile, fell to death during probably drunken spring break balcony jumping escapade, leukemia, and cystic fibrosis.